this project that we've developed, we've co-created with partners around Europe, and it's called EcoCore, and it's all about sustainable economic development along strategic transport corridors. So that's very important for us in Fingal, and particularly the town of Balbriggan, where the council has a large industrial land bank that we're hoping to develop out in a sustainable way. And we also have fantastic road access. We are located in the town of Balbriggan along the Dublin-Belfast corridor along the M1. So there's fantastic road access to the whole country, great access to Dublin Airport as well and Dublin Port. So we really want to take advantage of that strategic position and leverage the regional collaboration that we've been building with all the local authorities and universities who are part of the Dublin-Belfast economic corridor. Fingal County Council participated in a previous URBACT project. That project was located in the town of Balbriggan, and it was called iPlace. So that whole project was about how do you develop a place and find local economic niches to build job creation in a town. So we participated in that project, and we had such a wonderful experience. We learned so many good local practices that we could implement in Balbriggan from our partners in that network, that we just found it an absolutely fantastic learning experience for ourselves. It helped us really develop a plan, an integrated action plan for what we wanted to do. We were then able to take that action plan and develop it further, where we developed a strategy, a creative strategy for the town of Balbriggan, and we built a creative network in the town, which is hugely successful and really thriving in the town. So we went from not really knowing what we were going to do, thinking we could develop this niche or another niche. We found the niche, we've built it, we've nurtured it, and there's a really strong ecosystem there. So we leveraged funding, we were able to get staff in place to help support that network. So it was a huge success story for us, and great learnings came out of it. It was great to have the opportunity to learn from our peers around Europe. It was also great to get their feedback on the town of Balbriggan. When you work in a locality, you can often be blind to what the problems are. You can walk by things. So it was great to have their insights about things that we walk by every day, things that we may not pay enough attention to. So we found that experience really great learning, and we decided that we wanted to build on that. Over the last 18 to 24 months, the council has been building an industrial land bank in Balbriggan. We've bought a large amount of land in and around Stephenstown, which we hope to develop out. So we want to make sure that we do that in a sustainable way, that we have regard to the European Green Deal, that we think about the Council's Climate Action Plan, and that we do it in a sustainable way, and that we collaborate with the businesses who are there existing to see what they need, and to look to the future as well. How do we future-proof that? Because we really want to deliver high-quality jobs for the people of Balbriggan, so that they don't have to commute all the way into the city or go to another town, that they have high-quality jobs here that they can train for and that they can have employment in their locality. So that's really the impetus for the plan. We went through about 6 months of co-creation with various partners, where we built up a network of people we thought would be interested, and that's how this EcoCore project has come about. It's been a process of co-creation. So all of the partners involved in the network are really invested in this. They know how important climate change is. They know how important it is to bring jobs into their local economy. They want to make sure that they do that in a sustainable way. So that is really our target here. That's what we want to achieve. And for us here in Balbriggan, we really want to be a green innovator. We want to make the industrial development that we're going to do in Stephenstown the best in the country, if the best in Europe, the best in the world. We want to try and do that here. And we think that all of the work we will be doing with our partners will help us do that. We also want to leverage off the economic development strategy that we're working on for the entire county. A big part of that is marketing and branding. So how do we sell Fingal as a place for investment? How do we attract that investment in? And a large part of that is going to be Balbriggan, because we have a large land bank here and we have a great strategic location. So we want to learn from some of our partners who are absolutely fantastic at investment attraction, marketing and branding. How do we do that better? Because that's a challenge for us, and we really want to develop over the next 2 years a plan for how do we market Balbriggan as a place to invest in, as a place to locate in, and how to promote it to businesses so that we can stimulate the local economy and make sure that we have jobs for local people. When we have been doing the activation phase with the project partners, we have been talking to them about their own challenges. So we have a number of guest speakers who've come across, which will speak to some of the challenges that those partners have raised with us. Some partners have raised gender as an issue. So we have a gender panel today, which is going to be with some of our people from the local enterprise office, our LEO office. They're going to talk to some of the female enterprising women's network and talk about their experiences to encourage and stimulate some ideas with our project partners. We're also going to talk to people from the Council's Active Travel Department about some of the projects that they have implemented in regard to school streets and the rollout of active travel networks. These things can often be very difficult projects to implement. There can be an awful lot of people who don't want them. So we need to talk to people about how do you stay resilient and make sure that you roll out these projects. So we're going to talk to some people about that as well. We're also going to talk about regional collaboration. Fingal is very active in the Dublin-Belfast Economic Corridor, and we want to make sure that we show people how not to be competitive with one another in terms of different municipalities, your neighbouring municipalities. How can you work together? Because you're stronger if you work together in terms of investment attraction and getting people to pay attention to your economic corridor. So we want to show people the power of collaboration as well. We're also going to bring them on a site walk of Balbriggan, where we're going to show them all about the town of Balbriggan and the work of the Balbriggan Rejuvenation Project. So Balbriggan Town has over 25 million in URDF funding to support the redevelopment of the town. There's a number of projects that have gone through planning and will be going to construction shortly. Some which are in planning and some which will be in planning development now. So we're going to show them some of those projects to see the progression from the plan when it was originally developed with the input of the over 4,000 residents here in Balbriggan, to how the council leveraged the URDF funding and then going on to the implementation, going through planning design and actually getting on the ground and getting into delivery. So it was great to hear one of the partners say that he had been involved in the previous URBACT project, and when he came, nothing was done, but now he comes a couple of years later and he sees that, you know, there's scaffolding up and things are starting to move. So I know it can be a case that people think nothing is moving and the wheels of government can move slowly, but you are actually seeing delivery here in Balbriggan now. So the confidence of the town is starting to be realised in terms of that vision. So we'll have a walk around Balbriggan. We will also go out and see the industrial lands in Stevensonstown, which are, you know, mostly undeveloped now. Some of them is developed, and we'll talk about how we're going to start engaging with those businesses in terms of sustainable economic development, and then the lands where we hope to develop out as well, so that people can get a context of the size of the land bank that we're talking about, its location, and what the possibilities are and what the opportunities are, and again what the challenges are of that land bank and how we move forward with it. So those are some of the things we're going to be seeing. We'll also be talking about Smart Balbriggan, which is a digital project here under the umbrella of Smart Dublin. So we want to show people how you can use smart technologies in the community to resolve various challenges. So we'll be learning a little bit about Smart Balbriggan and all the digital innovation that's going on there, and hopefully that we can leverage off that and talk a little bit more about what that looks like and what partners are doing in that arena. We'll also be talking about the Fingal Skills Strategy, which is an innovation in Ireland in that no other local authority has a skills strategy. The Fingal Skills Strategy has identified various gaps in terms of future skills and what skills are needed for future jobs in Fingal County Council. So we are working very closely in a collaboration with industry and with education and training providers. We have 4 sectoral subgroups set up, one in transport and logistics, one in construction, one in green skills and one in services. And we hope to expand participation in those 4 groups, but also expand out into other sectors that we're identifying through our economic development strategy. And one other thing that we are doing is we're going to refresh that skills strategy in 2024. So we're going to take a fresh look post-COVID. What are the current skills gaps, and looking into the future about that. So we want to show people the power of that collaboration with education training providers, with universities and with industry, and how do you engage well in order to identify problems and then to address them. So that Fingal Skills Strategy and that collaboration piece again is something we want to showcase to our partners.